we're starting this in the middle because this is my second take. I am doing this with the intention of a student being able to add more presentation to it in forms of animations and pictures, like graphics, um, and good presentation skills, such as like looking like at people, good volume, and it being an A. These are the questions that I would have the assignment ask, so the presentation be asked, and they could be groups of probably 3 to 5. Five's maybe a bit too much, so probably four. And they would ask these questions: why did we go to war or wars? I would have them highlight one vocab word and explain its importance. Um, Relate back to the course long question, how is power used? As I made this, I actually flipped these two. So it's how is power used? Highlight one thing, and then connect it to three other events because I really liked a 6 degrees of separation assignment I did in high school, and I want to put that into this, and then have them answer the unit question. What were the consequences of the wars? And I saw your feedback on the lesson unit. I just haven't updated it for this because it's 11:55. All right, so U.S. involvement with Afghanistan and Iraq by Nick Karamanian, Nicholas Karamanian, and Nicholas Austin Karamanian. So why did America go to war? America first wanted to go to war in the first Gulf War because the U.S. wanted Middle Eastern oil. When Afghanistan, I made the unit, I forgot. When Iraq invaded Kuwait for the oil-rich region, it destabilized a lot of the resources and prices that many of the Western countries needed. They needed their oil to sustain their societies. So the US and other countries went in to secure it. Once it was secured, they set up some things. It was not set up very well, but eventually they pseudo left. The second Gulf War, the Iraq War, was in retaliation due to Iraq's or I made the unit. I helped made the unit. I have to Google something. Afghanistan. Yeah. Um, it was in relation to 9/11 attacks and trying to get Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction. They wanted to do those things. Those were their public reasons to do those things, even though many of the citizens of that region did not want to go to war and they were sympathetic towards the U.S. and they knew that they just had a few bad apples, not the entire country was against America. But those were the surface reasons why the United States wanted to go to war, even though it was again also for oil. How is power used at home? Power can be explained in many ways. Social power was used to help people sign up for war, similar to World War II having people sign up for war. It was a patriotic call, especially after the nation was attacked, to go defend your country and to go attack the war on terror. Mainstream media used social power to create discrimination against Muslims because since they were painting all of these people who follow Islam in a negative light, if you're one of them, you're a bad guy. Political power was used to create anti-privacy laws. Department of Homeland Security and the Patriot Act are examples of this, where they use this wartime speculation to allow the government to intrude on people's privacy more. Yeah. How is power used abroad? Is there another political power for no? Economic power was used to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. It was used to justify it because they wanted the oil. If they didn't have oil, they needed it. So they used their economic power to rally troops. That's a better way to word that. I'm sorry I'm putting it like this, but it's 11:58 and I don't really want to make another draft. But you're seeing me learn in real time. Um, Military power was used to shock and awe at Afghanistan and Iraq. So we were able to use our military and economic power to utterly destroy those regions and terrify their people. And cultural power was used globally to treat and view Muslims as bad people. One of the clips we saw in, I think it was Day 10's lesson plan, was a British clip explaining a law passed in Great Britain, the UK, um, about how they passed the law limiting headwear, which in regards to hijabs. and how that targets Muslim people more than the normal person. That's how power is used abroad. Cultural power of America disliking Muslims gets transferred to other Western countries. Mainstream media's power, there would be a picture right here. I'm tired, sorry. Mainstream media's power, our group's focus, was able to set public opinion, specifically through all of the hundreds of hours of news that they pushed out to be either in support of the war to or against the war, although most of it was for the war, and so it was able to set public opinion and attitudes. They were able to push talking points to help drive things and push people a certain way, especially politically. Mainstream media can create defenders of the nation's actions. If the nation does this and the most popular and well accepted um, pulpits push that narrative, then people will eat that up and defend it, and it can silence other perspectives. Just because something is being said, it doesn't mean it's right. If it's being said the loudest, that especially doesn't mean it's right. So even though there was one person who voted to not go to war, that doesn't matter when everyone else is saying go to war. And those are the people who made money because of the global war industrial complex. Mainstream media's direct connections towards other things in our unit, they are directly funneled to America's growing Islamophobia problem because they are the ones that can broadcast certain views directly to the widest amount of people across the nation, and also to different sects through socioeconomic class and geography. Mainstream media was heavily used to push the story of Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction, even though he did not have any. He did not have these weapons of mass destruction. Those were lies fabricated to help justify the war and to push people going to war. Mainstream media was also used to push the shock and awe to scare citizens. What was used there was heavily publicized because of mainstream media. This is similar to when photographs were made or were being used for the first time in the Civil War in terms of wartime reporting. Seeing pictures of mutilated bodies and what was happening and wondering if that was your home had a large effect on people, which mainstream media was the one who gave that effect. Domestic and international consequences. Nearly 32,000 injured American soldiers came home from the Iraq invasion, which is a third of the population of my hometown, Fairfield. And that's like 3,000 of our high schools. So that could be a way to relate it. Rampant Islamophobia in the States. It's a problem that came from those wars and mildly beforehand as well, just because of cultural differences. Um, but that is a domestic and international consequence. For international consequences, there are hundreds of thousands of that's word wrong of Iraqi citizens dead from Western involvement in the region, and destabilized countries and areas within the Middle East due to our involvement and our greed for oil. That was very messy. I'm sorry. That should be cleaner, but it's now 12:02, and I wanted to get this done, and I believe this is a very good sketch that I learned while I did it. I said it before in class, say it again. Sorry for showing up late. Um, and that from talking with some of the others, your class is definitely. I learned more in this class than I, I missed two of them. I learned more in this class than I did the other three. The other three were busy work that taught me things that people in educate or people who are motivated to become teachers and look out for those things while they're in school should already pick up on. This is actually teaching me how to teach, which is what I've been wanting for 2 years. So thank you, and I cannot wait to do more of it with you. I'm tech literate, I promise.